This episode of FilmRiot is brought to you by Domain.com.
Today on FilmRiot, we're taking a look at a DIY Steadicam, and we write on my desk. Welcome to FilmRiot, the show that takes mystery out of the effects and techniques going on some of your favorite Hollywood films. I'm your host, Ryan Conley, and look what I found on the internet.
Yes, old gold. The cigarette with nearly 200 years of tobacco know-how behind it.
Yes, a dancing cigarette box, but wait, there's more.
Smoother, milder, tastier, old gold cigarette.
Baby cigarettes. What the 1950s? That has nothing to do with anything, but I found it. So there it is. Today, we're going to be jumping into some DIY goodness, plus a standing desk update, and I have no email to show you, so now I feel a little awkward. So, Josh?
What?
So a few weeks ago, a friend of mine sent a video of a kid that came up with a pretty interesting idea. Now, this isn't actually his original idea. I have heard of this technique before this being used, but I actually never saw it before. This would be the first time that I actually saw it, and I thought it would be something fun to try and show you guys. This technique is to take a tripod, like this one, and turn it into a Steadicam or GlideCam type stabilizer, which I got this tripod from Walmart for like 30 bucks. I wanted to try to get something like super cheap to try this out with. Now, setting this up is actually freaking ridiculously simple. First, you need the right type of tripod, which you just need something with a neck extender. It would be a plus if it has a rotating head like this one, but that's not mandatory. But now you are ready to turn this into a traveling stabilizer, which only takes one step of modification. Ready? Unscrew the arm from one of the legs and you're done. Or in my case, I actually snapped off the connector. Most tripods should allow you to disconnect without breaking the tripod permanently. It will be the cheaper tripods like this one that won't for the most part, but that's all the modification needed. Crazy hard, I know, but don't be lazy.
Here's a trunk stretching exercise to strengthen the nut muscles.
So now we can mount the camera to the head with the neck raised up and then hold the leg to carry. However, I have no balance at first. Even when I stretch the leg out, my 5D is just too heavy. So I grabbed the 5-pound leg weight I had laying around my house and secured that to the opposite side, and that fixed the issue and balanced my setup out nicely. Now off the bat, I love the type of shot that I can get with this, but the jitter that I'm getting is out of control, ugly, and just not smooth. What I figured is that I'm getting this jumpiness due to how lightweight and flimsy this tripod is, so I grabbed my Manfrotto and set it up the same way. Of course, with this one, I can just unscrew the leg from the arm. That way I don't have to break it, which is nice. Then I give it another go, and sure enough, it worked 10 times better. I'm actually surprised at how well this works. I was able to get some pretty smooth shots and cool angles to boot. It is a bit awkward to carry. It takes some getting used to keep the shots that you want, but for a quick, cheap fix, this is a pretty friggin' awesome idea. Look at this running shot here. I was shocked at how well this worked. I was even able to change hands without too much of an issue happening to the image. I also love how this setup allows you to do crazy Dutch angles or just put the camera completely on its side for some other interesting shots. It's also just a great setup for that Sam Raimi type POV monster cam shot, which I actually like the lighter tripod for that a lot better since there was that bob going on. It gives you the feeling of looking through the eyes of something that's actually running, and it kind of makes it a little bit more intense. So if that is what I was going for, I would actually reach for the cheaper tripod over the larger one. You could also mount the camera looking forward so you could move with the tripod thinned out to get through tight spaces, or just hold the setup upside down to what we have now to get sort of higher shots. Now, of course, this won't be as smooth as pro gear. It's also a lot harder to control, and depending on what tripod you use, it could be very heavy, but it is an awesome and quick DIY solution. And I love stuff like this, just keeping it in that filmmaker tool bag of ideas that I'm always talking about. That way, when you're on set and a problem arises, you have this idea sitting in the back of your mind just waiting to get you out of a jam or impress people that you are working with, which is always helpful to get called back for the next production. So give that a shot, and remember to get a tripod that's heavy enough to get your solid shots. It doesn't have to be a super expensive tripod either. I saw a $40 tripod that probably would have worked out perfectly. I just wanted to see how cheap I could push this. And again, this is not my original idea. It came from this guy on YouTube, so go check out his original video here. He definitely deserves the views for this idea. If you're trying to get yourself seen on the interwebs for any reason, be it you're a filmmaker, you're trying to sell some product, or you're just putting stuff up that you think is cool.
We got some sweet buns.
You got some sweet buns, like bakery stuff?
Yeah, like really sweet Hawaiian bread.
Okay.
Awesome.
Josh's Sweet Buns.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to get josh'ssweetbuns.net to put up buns from Josh's recipes, that we should just put them online for free. Just let people get them, and they'll make they'll make their own buns at home. So then everybody will just have Josh's buns. So get josh'sbuns.net, and you know what? Get a .com while you're at it. Get the .net, get the .com. Protect Josh's Buns as a brand. You know what I'm saying?
Protect my buns.
Yeah, protect his buns. Plus, .net it just infuses your website with credibility, and it is cheap. From domain.com, you get it for $8.99 a year, and get this, you can get it for cheaper. Get 15% off by using coupon code FilmRiot at checkout, so you can get Josh's Buns for 15% off. That is a deal.
That's a great deal.
That is a steal.
My
So use
buns
coupon
are
code, no they're not, use coupon code FilmRiot at checkout. When you think domain names, think domain.com and Josh's Buns.
Logo.
So a while ago, I showed you how I moved to a standing desk for work. I found out about how bad sitting all day for you was, and I decided to make the switch. Since then, you guys have shown a lot of interest and were asking a lot of questions on Twitter and what have you, so I figured I would do a bit of an update. I'm still standing while I work, not all day. I fluctuate between sitting and standing. Like in the morning, it's all sitting. I just want coffee and a chair in the morning, man. It's just how it is. But then the rest of the day, I'll stand for the most part. I love it. I love it so much, and saw so many benefits. I decided to get UpDesks for Josh and Eris as well, since lately they have been sitting and editing just as much as I have. Now, I talked about the health benefits of a standing desk in this episode here, so if you want to know more info on that, definitely go there, talk about it, and I talk about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. Which in that episode, you'll see that we chose to go with UpDesk, which I stayed with. After a lot of searching for me, they just stood out on top above the rest, and I still am very happy with that decision. But here's the new thing, which I am loving so far, and one of the reasons I decided to finally do this standing desk update that you guys have been asking for. This is my new Upright. It's a standing desk / whiteboard. So it's a whiteboard standing desk, which is why they call it the Upright. I don't think I needed to explain that at all. Which I think it's mostly meant to be a whiteboard. Their promo video pretty much shows it as that, but the second I saw it, I had a better idea for me. I'm actually using it as a regular desk with the free space as a whiteboard for my notes. So I'll have a to-do list on one side and then my editing notes on the other side, and I love this. Until now, I've been using paper or a note doc on my computer, but just being able to have it right there and easily erase and change as I go and just glance down and see it, it's just oh so good. It's like my new editing best friend. Especially when I'm doing a watch through, like just the final looks of an episode or a project of some type, which is when I watch it from start to finish to find issues. And with this, I can just let the video play uninterrupted, so I'm not disrupting the flow of it, and I can just write on my desk. I just make the notes of the edits that I need to do as I go, and then I can go back through and just knock them off, which I probably like that I'm also allowed to write on my desk. I think it's like an adolescent thing, like I pretend I'm not supposed to be writing on my desk, but I'm totally writing on my desk. It's kind of like the sidewalk chalk you had when you were a kid. You're like running on me like, F you city, graffiti. Then your mom and you're like, Mom, I made a statement. But that is my standing desk update. And again, if you want to buy a standing desk, I definitely suggest UpDesk right here. Their stuff is top notch and only gets better. But if you don't have the cash to spend on that, just do a DIY standing desk to start off with, then move to something more solid down the line. It is so much better for you, and it'll make you more alert and productive. And I want you guys to be healthy, so be healthy by standing more and sitting less. I'm telling you, Ryan says, can we make that like a segment of the show? Ryan says.
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's not happening then.
Logo.
But that is it for today. That's everything that I want to throw into your faces. I'm done. I'm gonna leave now. But before I do, Twitter. That's a thing that I have.
My Twitter.
Oh.
My Twitter.
Now that you said it, I have to put it there. That sucks. Well, Josh's Twitter. You can talk to either of us if you want to, but I'll see you next week when it turns out that Bigfoot on my roof is not dead. And then stuff happened. Though I do love the fact that I can get this cool sideways type shot and smoothly transition. Though I love the fact that I can get this cool sideways shot and smooth transition into.